All right, ladies and gentlemen, 2025 Taiwan Startup World Cup now begins. Right. Thank you. Can we have a big round of applause to kickstart this event? 热情的掌声，谢谢大家。好的，各位现场以及线上的长官贵宾，大家早安！欢迎莅临2025新创台湾新创世界杯总决赛。我是今天的主持人 Helen。Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to 2025 Taiwan Startup World Cup. My name is Helen, and I'm your MC today. 好，那首先呢，非常开心可以跟所有人一起来共度这个世界级的盛会。So first of all, it's my great honor to join this world-class competition with every one of you. 好，那简单一下介绍这个活动的历史。好，那我们今天所参加的这个新创世界杯呢，是由飞马加速器在矽谷所成立的，然后横跨了70多个国家，他们至今已经成为世界上最知名、最有影响力的新创比赛之一。So a little bit about the introduction. So this Startup World Cup is launched by Pegasus, that is launching at Silicon Valley. And spanning over 70 countries, it has now become one of the most influential competition in the world. 好，那今年呢非常特别，我们要非常感谢在国发会的支持之下呢，我们有办法将这个活动在台湾区举办得更加的丰富圆满。So under the support by National Development Council in this year, we were able to make this event even more wonderful. 好，那另外呢，值得一提，今年同时也是我们的执行单位仙人掌新创服务第3年来执行这个活动。那在这3年之间呢，他们也协助很多的新创团队链接事件，然后更加的国际化，打造了很好的生态系。So in addition, this is also the third time that the CNC Startup Service to host this event. And throughout this year, they has been helping many startups to connect to the world and building the international ecosystem. 好，那今年的赛事非常的热烈哦，跟大家介绍一下，我们总共有150个队伍来参赛报名。那经过了很严格的美国总部的筛选之后呢，总共有50队进入到总决赛。那今天呢，我们就是要为大家来公布我们前15强。不过更重要的是什么呢？我们要来公布今天的冠军。那冠军呢，将会代表台湾到矽谷来参加总决赛，然后一起来竞争这个100万美元的投资奖金。So this year, in total, we have 150 teams to participate. And throughout the strict review by the U.S. headquarters, in total we have 50 teams to enter the semifinal. And today we will be revealing the top 15 finalists. But most importantly, the champion will represent Taiwan to join the grand final in Silicon Valley and compete for the $1 million prize. 好，那接下来呢，在我们活动开始之前，有一件很重要的事情要特别跟大家说。我们今天呢很特别，我们看到有一群很可爱的弟弟妹妹，他是我们的志工哦，非常的优秀，我们热情的掌声给他们好吗 ？So we would like to send out great gratitude to our volunteers. Thank you so much for your support and dedication. 好 ，So now without further ado, so our 2025 Taiwan Startup World Cup now begins. So I would like to begin with introducing our distinguished guests. So for the guests of honors, when you are called, please stand up and wave your hand to all the participants. 那现在呢，我要为大家来介绍今天重要的与会贵宾，所以被我唱名到的长官呢，请您起身，向身后所有的来宾打个招呼好吗？ So first up, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the chairman of Taiwan ITI New Venture Association, Mr. Michael Gao. 我们掌声欢迎高技组总会长台湾工研新创协会，欢迎。Thank you so much, thank you, sir. 好，接下来呢。 Next, please welcome the founder and managing partner of Hesperian Ventures and Berkeley Skytech, Mr. Alan Liang. Welcome. Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Next, please welcome the director of Arizona Taiwan Trade and Investment Office, Mr. Steve Shi. 掌声欢迎徐竹先处长，亚利桑那州驻台贸易投资办事处，欢迎。 Next up, please welcome the Deputy Director of Taiwan Institute of Economic Research, Institute Number 6. 掌声欢迎 Dr. 范秉航，台湾经济研究院研究六所副所长，欢迎。Next, please welcome the Chairman of TakeSphere Investment. 掌声欢迎 Ryan Yang. 掌声欢迎杨涵纯董事长 ，Welcome. Next, please welcome the founder of Taiwan Global Angels, IC Chan. 掌声欢迎台湾天使俱乐部创办人 IC， 欢迎。Next, please welcome the investor of Pegasus Tech Venture. 掌声欢迎 Mr. Michael Ferrens. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining us. Next, let's welcome the partner of Pegasus Tech Ventures, Mr. David Gao, Mr. David Guo. 掌声欢迎郭宗岩合伙人，欢迎。Next up, please welcome the Deputy Secretary General of Taiwan Listed Companies Association, Mr. Alan Chang. 掌声欢迎台湾上市柜公司协会副秘书长。Next, please welcome the Ventures Associate Plug and Play, Mr. Jeremy Lai. Welcome. Next, please welcome the Honorary Chairman of USA iLab Industrial Innovation Research Institute, Mr. Aaron Yan. Welcome. 掌声欢迎严敏仁荣誉院长，欢迎。Next, please welcome the Head of Operations and Investor Relations of Hesperian Ventures, Holly Liang. Welcome. Next, please welcome the Secretary General of Taipei Neihu Technology Park Development Association, 吴云瑞. Welcome. 欢迎吴秘书长。Next, please welcome the Division Chief of Entrepreneurship Resources Division, New Taipei City Youth Bureau. 我们欢迎蔡新全科长，欢迎。Next, please welcome the Chairman of Knowledge and Innovation Co-Create Association, 卢克文理事长，欢迎 Mr. Jack Liu. Welcome. Finally, the most importantly, the CEO of Taipei Co-Space CNC Service Startup, Ms. Tina Hua. Welcome. 掌声。台北创新实验室线上创业俱乐部的黄成全执行长，欢迎。So once again, thank you so much for your support and participating. Now, to begin with, I would like to introduce one special guest. Even though he couldn't be able to be here with us, but he has recorded a video to share some thought with us. So without further ado, please welcome the partner of Pegasus Tech Venture, Mr. Bill Reichert. 掌声欢迎 VCR, please.
Ni hao. Greetings and welcome to the Startup World Cup 2025 Taiwan Regional Championship. My name is Bill Reichert and I have the great honor of being the Chief Evangelist for Startup World Cup. I'm also a general partner here at Pegasus Tech Ventures in Silicon Valley. I sure wish that I were there with you, but thank you so much, Taiwan, for being a part of the global Startup World Cup competition. I'm sure you're going to have a great day today. I'm sure there's some wonderful entrepreneurs that are anxious to get on stage and pitch their vision to the judges. So I look forward to meeting today's winner at the Global Finale Championships here in San Francisco on October 17th. I hope you all join us. Meanwhile, have a great day. Looking forward to meeting the winner. Bye.
Well, big round of applause to Bill. Thank you for his blessing. All right, now to follow, I would like to welcome Mr. Steve Xi, Arizona Taiwan Trade and Investment Office Director, to share some thoughts with us for these opening remarks. 掌声欢迎亚利桑那驻台贸易投资办事处徐竹先徐处长上台为我们说几句话，掌声欢迎。
Hi everyone, I'm Steve. I'm representing Arizona state government in Taiwan. And we're helping Taiwanese company to invest in the United States, especially in Arizona. But not only in Arizona, I believe that this is a great opportunity for all the Taiwanese company to explore the opportunity in different states. And using USA being the test market for you to go global and also to expand other countries. And we are very happy to see that all of the participants today, and actually next week will be the Taiwan, Semicon Taiwan. There's a world-class expo, and many attendees from around the world who will be in Taiwan. And this is the great opportunity for you now to seeking the opportunity to explore and to be known around the world. So congratulations to the final participants, and I wish you all going to win, and not only the awards, maybe one company will represent Taiwan to compete in the Star Wars Cup in San Francisco, but actually you're all the winners because you are picked up directly from Pegasus San Francisco, then you pick it up. So you are all in the radar. They are interested. So now the real competition is the world. You have to beat the market, find your investors, and this is the opportunity for you. And even you are not selected to be the final one, I encourage you to reserve your time to our grand final in San Francisco. This October 17, right? Yeah. Okay. Congratulations to all of you. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Xi, for this inspiring speech. And like our director has said, this platform is such a great opportunity to explore new resources. So good luck, everyone. Thank you. All right, so now to follow, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Alan Liang, the founder and managing partner of Hesperian Ventures and Berkeley Skydeck. 掌声欢迎 for his opening remarks. 掌声。
Hi everyone, it's Alan Leong, founder and managing partner of Hesperian Ventures and also co-chair of the FinTech blockchain track at UC Berkeley Skydeck. As some of you may or may not know, at UC Berkeley Skydeck, it's UC Berkeley's incubator and accelerator, and we basically accelerate over 200 companies each year, spanning from AI, blockchain, FinTech, aerospace, biotech, across all different technology areas. At Hesperian Ventures, we focus really on supporting founders to help you basically build cross-border strategy and really build in Taiwan, help you get into Silicon Valley and then expand globally. But I'm really excited to be here. It's really exciting to see and also participate yesterday and leading up to the top 15 who are going to compete for the #1 spot to represent Taiwan. And only guidance I have is just be yourself. You guys are very passionate about your startup, the problem, but really focus on the story, the narrative, focus on global vision, on how are you going to create a beachhead, right, and basically expand. And I'll talk about my speech around global VCs and what we're looking for, but reality is we're looking for great founders, technology, and ability to expand globally.
Right, big round of applause to Mr. Allen. Thank you so much for this warm encouragement. 好，我们首先要来介绍我们今天的主持人。So first up, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Steve Xi, Arizona Taiwan Trade and Investment Office Director. 掌声欢迎徐老师，亚利桑那驻台投资办事处的处长。And now I would like to introduce our panelists. Okay, so first up, please welcome Mr. Michael Ferrens, the investor of Pegasus Tech Ventures. 掌声欢迎。 Okay, welcome, Michael. Thank you for joining us. Next, please welcome Mr. Michael Gao, Taiwan ITRI New Venture Association Chairman. 掌声欢迎台湾公研新创协会高技组总会长，欢迎。Welcome, sir. Thank you for joining us. Looking forward to the content. Right, moving forward, please welcome the Deputy Director of Taiwan Institute of Economic Research, Institute Number 6. 掌声欢迎台湾经济研究院研究6所的范秉航副所长，掌声欢迎。Thank you for joining us. Thank you. Welcome. Please be seated. Next, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Alan Chang, Taiwan Listed Companies Association Deputy Secretary General. 掌声欢迎台湾上市柜公司协会张耀仁副秘书长，欢迎。Thank you for joining us for this panel discussion. All right. So finally, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Aaron Yan, the USA iLabs Industrial Innovation Research Institute Honorary Chairman. 掌声欢迎严敏仁荣誉院长，掌声欢迎。Okay, so in fact previously we will have one more guest, but unfortunately due to his health issue, he wouldn't be here with us, Mr. Giuseppe Izzo. OK， 那他很想来，我们这个 Giuseppe Izzo Chairman 呢，ECCT Chairman， 他今天非常想来，但是因为他这个健康因素呢，没有办法参与。但是呢，我们还是很期待。好，我们今天的内容还是会相当精彩。所以 now without further ado, I will hand my control to our moderator, Mr. Steve.
Okay, thank you, Helen, and thank you all our panelists to join this panel discussion. I think that all of you must know Morris Chang, right? Morris Chang from TSMC, the former chairman of TSMC, who said globalization is dead, right? Have you heard of that? I partially agree with him because for many different countries, maybe globalization is dead. But for Taiwan, my opinion is our globalization is just the beginning. We need to go global. We cannot just stay in Taiwan and there the market is the limit. We have to go, not only go global, we have to think born global. The world is our market. Now it's time for Taiwanese company, not only the big corporations, small SMEs, and also the startups. We are going to invest in different countries. You are going to be the boss. You not only to be the supplier, manufacturing in Taiwan, just sell the products around the world. Now you have to manage the company. And there's a cross-culture difference. You have to conquer that. That's the new lesson we have to learn. So I think globalization for us is just the new beginning. And for all the participants of this Startup World Cup, this is the great opportunity for you to learn. First step through the Pegasus, the network, to learn how to get the funding and exposure from that investor environment and the angel capitalist to invest in you and interest in you. So my question is, the first question I would like to pose to each of our panelists that for Michael, you are representing Pegasus, and you just fly in Taiwan today or yesterday?
Yeah, last night.
Last night, and you are flying out back to the United States?
Tonight.
Okay. This is a one-day trip. Okay. Oh my God. So see, it's so close. We're so close to California. Yeah, we are now become the one ecosystem. Not only the startup, your market, and also the investment. We're so close. So I would like to ask Michael, and because Michael, you are the investor of Pegasus Tech Ventures, and you are focused on the startup investment and analysis worldwide, and you previously co-founded the sustainable activewear startups, right? You're also entrepreneurial, yeah, and help finance roles and firms like Rosending Electrics. And you also hold a finance degree from the University of Washington Foster School of Business. Just introduce a bit more about your bio. So I would like to ask you that through your witness, that what makes startup globally fundable? Because you are investing in them.
Yeah, so as much from the venture capital's perspective as we'd like to say that everything is always logical, it's not always logical. I think most of the venture capital investors in Silicon Valley in the US are investing emotionally with their heart.
Emotionally, okay.
And so the first thing is putting together a team that I can love.
Okay.
I want to fall in love with the people first and fall in love with the idea as they present it. Having the right people to tell that story is what gets me to fall in love with the idea.
Not only look at their financial forecast.
No,
No.
absolutely not. In Silicon Valley, at least, most of these startups are going to be losing money for the next 5+ years, depending on the stage you're looking at. So just relying on financial forecasts is short-sighted, and there's much more to that. And so then where it really becomes the biggest question when it does get to the logic side is there a sustainable value proposition? Is this something that is going to solve an actual pain point and be a medication rather than being a vitamin that is nice to have, but
or must have.
Exactly. And so solving an actual pain point, does it save money in the manufacturing line? Does it speed up the throughput? What does that look like? And so trying to combine the emotional side of, is this an idea, a story, and a team I can love, with logically, does this solve an actual problem, I think is really the first part of competing on a global scale when it comes to investment, especially given how many startups are out there just in Silicon Valley, and then as you start to look globally and you start to see similar ideas. Now, also leveraging the strengths of each region is very important, and Taiwan is very good on the supply chain side. The US, as you know, not as good on the supply chain side.
Manufacturing, the hardware part is an advantage. Yeah.
Exactly, and so there's a huge advantage here in Taiwan. And so leveraging that advantage as you continue to look to push into the global sphere is an important aspect of that.
Okay, thank you, Michael. But I want to proceed to ask more question about your portfolio. So for the recent, let's say, past 3 years, what kind of new deal you are looking for in your portfolio?
Yeah, we get the unique benefit. We work with more than 40 multinational corporations.
Over 40.
Over 40, primarily from Asia Pacific, spanning across gaming, food and agriculture, automotive, healthcare. And so we get the unique benefit of being able to look at a lot of different things. That being said, the key themes that we continue to see are obviously AI. There's no avoiding that at this point. Industrial automation, everyone has to tie into the factory and the warehouse at some point. And then healthcare and climate change, ESG goals are all key themes that we've been looking at.
So you are wearing different glasses or wearing different hats, because you not only invest for yourself, but also you are helping the other large corporation to run their corporate VC for them, right?
Yeah.
Can I say that?
Yeah, so we think of ourselves as an extension on their innovation teams, where we'll help them co-develop investment strategies around some of their core problem statements that they face as an organization.
Okay, thank you, Michael. And next question I'm going to pose to another Michael, Michael Gao. Okay, Michael is the founder of iTech Corporation, and he led the company to become a globally recognized supplier of electronic materials. And he currently serves as the chairman of a Taiwan E3 New Venture Association, and where he's dedicated now in driving industrial innovation and technological advancement. And he is now the key leader in both the electronic industry and also the startup ecosystem. And especially for the past, not only 3 years, several years, he become our mentor of the Startup World Cup in Taiwan. And I would like to pose a question to Michael. What's the role of the research institute in supporting this international expansion? Because you are also from E3, and you have been through the many different investment, and also you know a lot of the business leaders and founders of Taiwan high-tech ecosystem. What's your observation?
Yeah, thanks, Steve. I think I just want to quote also Morris. He actually mentioned about the successor of TSMC. The key element, he picked up the successor. One of the key elements, he must be a successful businessman. And even when
not a technician,
not
an engineer.
Yeah, even not a management, not a manager. Okay, not a successful manager, but he's a businessman. So which means he really put a lot of attention and to be a successful businessman. Even he passed his CEO and chairman position to the Dr. Wei and Dr. Liu. He mentioned those two gentlemen only achieved a score of 80, only 80. Okay, not even
only
90.
80.
Okay. However, 10 years ago, those two gentlemen was only 50. So, which means a successful CEO or successful entrepreneur must be, you have to learn how to do business. The research institute, how the research institute help with your globalization. I think if you are originally from the school, from university, even from ITRI for other things, you can engage your research project globally, either with collaboration with Japan or not only maybe the well-known school, or collaborate with UC Berkeley or other well-known school or UCLA. And during the collaboration, you can actually have some kind of network with their alumni. Okay, UC Berkeley, they have a great alumni network, like Alan, Skydeck, they have more than 700, right? 700 mentor, 700. That's a lot, cover a variety of range. Actually, no matter through your research or through all kind of network, I think the key is to find out the right person to really help you go global. I think 95% of Taiwan's entrepreneur, they know very little about business. And they don't even know how to give a quotation, how to do a business negotiation. So I would suggest the first thing is to really have your team, one of your team or your advisor, your board member, as a businessman, either Taiwan or overseas. The second, I think, through the accelerator network, you can apply Skydeck. You can apply all kind of network, because like Tinga, we have a collaboration recently with Mulker Capital. They have a very successful accelerator in Southern California. They're doing a great job in AI-related acceleration. So I think go offshore to find out a great accelerator. They have a great localized network to help you to bridge the gap. And that would be one of the key. And then, obviously, you have to spend a lot of money and time in business. A lot of the funding project, they put almost only 10% in marketing, which is ridiculous. Because like 2 years ago, when Bill Raker was in Taiwan, he gave a great speech. And during his speech, there are 5 elements VC really, there's a great change in the Silicon Valley in the VC. 2 of them related to the marketing. The first one will be what is your execution capability, how to grow your business fast. The second one will be find out the real niche market. It's instead of talking about a big picture, we have a 30 billion market to grow, which is ridiculous. Okay. However, within the 30 billion market, what is your technology's advantage or niche market? Maybe only 500 million, maybe only 1 billion. That's great, because you could be the 50% market share within this category. So you have to know where is your market. Now, that's the key. That's really where's the niche market. So just doing the research, trying to find the right person on board, right advisor, right partner. The last thing I would say is it's very difficult for a Taiwan company to really manage it a USA team. Almost impossible. Even TSMC, they're hitting a lot of they're having a lot of trouble in management those USA employee. I think the best way will be through the assistance of a localized accelerator or networking, really find out a great partner, business partner, also JV partner, to really let them to really help you to do the business, also to grow business in the United States. Instead of doing this business by yourself, it's almost impossible. It's I don't think anybody can do that. Yeah. So I think the best way to do will be find the right partner through the right channel. And there's a lot of opportunity there through TINAS, through Skydeck. Also, we have an event every year. Since last year, we have a Select LA. And next year, we will be focusing on the biomedical device and medtech, and also food tech and agricultural, as well as aerospace and military technologies. And so, and also we are trying to help each new venture to really land it successfully in the States and to find out the right partner. So these kind of event you can attend and join. So I would say, think really very hard how to grow your business and find the right person, right team, and right partner. That's the key to success for your business. So I think that's my suggestion for all the Taiwan's new venture. And thanks, Steve, for your introduction. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. I couldn't agree more with Michael that not easy to run a business in the United States for Taiwanese entrepreneurs. But also that Michael just quoted Morris, who said his successor must be a businessman, not an engineer. And I also can predict next generation of the management team of TSMC will come from a place. They will come from Arizona. You know why? Because the successor of C.C. Wei, if they do not have experience in the United States, they couldn't lead the TSMC in the future. You must have the business opportunity, the business experience and networks in the United States, well connected to the United States ecosystem, not only the business part, engineer part, but also the political. So they have to learn. So look at those people now in the United States, in Arizona. In the future, they're going to grow very fast. And if the TSMC management team only have experience in Taiwan, it's really not enough. If they have experience in Kumamoto, Japan, small, mature procedure. Germany, small. So look at that ecosystem in the United States. Not only I'm talking about Arizona. I'm saying that in the future, the next generation business leader ecosystem will come. Well, it's very important to set your foot in the United States. Become a friend, become partners, become bros and sisters. In the future, they're going to grow together. But find your partners in the United States, okay? Then the next question I'm going to pose to Dr. Fan Binghang. Dr. Fan also serves as the board director of Bochen VC and also the Lian Xun VC, and well as the investment committee member of Taiwan National Development Fund with deep expertise in innovation policy and early stage investment. He has led various national projects to enhance Taiwan's startup ecosystem, especially in emerging technologies, early stage capital, and also the entrepreneurial policy research. So my question is, Taiwan startup now aim for the global expansion, and they have to balance that commercialization, funding, talents, and marketing, and how can they efficiently manage these elements to be successful internationally? There's a lot of success factors, but which one is the most important things, or how to balance it?
All right. I think it's a very interesting question when you use the term balance.
Uh-huh.
So for the founders, the only thing you need to focus on balance is your balance sheet, right? It's about the income.
Balance sheet, okay.
Yes. So it's hard to find the balance between all these different elements like commercialization, talent, funding, and marketing. So the only thing you need to focus will be it's probably a daily job to define which one you should go first. Define the priority of all these stuffs. It will be a daily job. So if you're short of talents, of course there may be your priority things you need to deal with. If you're short of marketing strengths, or competitiveness, you need to focus in your technology or focus in your marketing stuffs. So I think if I want to put the best practice for the founders to deal with all these stuffs, so first will be for the founders, you need to step a little bit away from your comfort zone, especially for the tech startup in Taiwan. So if you're a scientist, get out of your lab and know more people, meet new friends. And if you're a party animal, trying to sit down with one-on-one meeting with industrial leaders, and it will help you to know more stuff or talk deeply with your customers. It will be the best practice for you. So following on that thing, you need to make a better time management for all these stuffs. You need to prepare for the uncertainty future. So the uncertainty is coming, so you need to prepare early. So if you're looking for the funding, if you already closed the fund and your cash in hand will last for 1 year, so you probably set up your milestone in 6 months and start doing the fundraising after 6 months. So get early preparation, and accidents always happens. So competitors always pops up every day. So that would be the best suggestion I can give for the founder. If you want to go globally, then that would be the thing you need to consider in the future. Thank you very much.
And Dr. Fan, we just mentioned the success factors, or how to balance it, but now I want to ask, since you have done a lot of research about the Taiwan startups, what are the major failure factors in Taiwan? What factors they may encounter that they are blind spots?
The blind spots?
Yeah.
All right, that might be a lot of things I have seen for the startup from Taiwan. So the first thing will be get confused between the features and impact. So especially for a tech startup in Taiwan, their product or services, they spend too much time on their features. For this question, have this function, that function, and so on and so forth. But actually, maybe a little bit recall with what Michael just said is you need to tell a good story, and the story is impactful. Not only impactful for your customer or potential customer, maybe impactful for the world. All right. So that's the first thing. Get confused with features and impact.
Taiwan entrepreneurs love the functions and features.
Yes.
And explain their products, their technologies, how advanced they have. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So you have to realize that the more feature you put into your product, you're creating more competitors.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. And the second thing is you gotta move fast, especially you go to the global market. Someone would say you need to be more agile or resilient. That would be the same thing. You gotta move fast because just like the Startup World Cup, we have regional race and we have global race. It's different stage. The competitors or competitiveness will be totally different.
Okay.
If you're on different stages. So if you go abroad and just like I said before, you maybe today you can make money in the market, but tomorrow your competitor pops out. Maybe tomorrow, maybe next week, and so on and so forth. So the only thing you can do is to move faster than your competitors. So focus on your core technology, core tech, and try to make it more flexible to fit in the market, because market change fast actually. And the last one will be patient, just like we talked.
Be patient.
Yeah, be patient. So, or should be consistent. When we talk about global market, it's outside of Taiwan, right? So there's tons of countries outside of Taiwan. So it depends on which market you are trying to penetrate. If you go to the US, it's a different story. If you go to Japan, it's a different story, another different story. For instance, go to Japanese market, and you gotta be more patient. So everything will take longer. So not only that, you need to be consistent. Just like we learned about the game theory, we have two different games. One is one-shot game, just like competition, like event, and so on and so forth. Is a one-shot game. But doing business is a continuous game. People are watching you, right? So if you want to penetrate in this market, you need to stick on that and be more patient, be more consistent, and make your commitment and realize that. So that would be the thing that you want to go to one specific market and do repeatedly in different countries, and that will be the case. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Dr. Fan. And also, next question I'm going to pose to Alan Zhang. He is the Deputy Secretary General of Taiwan Listed Companies Association. In his association, there's a lot of listed companies, chairman or founders as the members. So actually, on May, we together led a delegation from Taiwan biotech delegation to Arizona. We visited a lot of different organizations and a lot of meetings. And we now are together to helping Taiwanese, not only the semiconductor industry, but also the biomedical companies to explore the United States market. My question to Alan is, since he is the Deputy Secretary General of Taiwan Listed Company Association, how does Taiwan startups can work with the large corporations using their leverage their resources or become the useful resource to large corporations? That's my question.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. Yeah, actually, we have lots of listed company in Taiwan. I prepared 3 suggestions. Yeah, if we have enough time. First one is must be your unique number one. Yeah, you need to find out which part is your number one in your territory. Yeah, we all know we need to do the market analysis, competitor analysis. But all of the companies, including the listed companies, everybody is finding the unique factor. If you become your number one, if you cannot find your number one, you just small, or you just to check which area, even the small area, you can become number one. You might be can find in Taipei number one, or in Taiwan number one. Then you can see in the other country, what is your competitor? Maybe in Japan, in American, who is number one? Can you fight with them? Yeah, what is your advance? Then you can easier to get the number one. Yeah, just like yesterday, we saw the lots of the pitch, but maybe you have too much information, so it's not easy to let us know what is your number one. So if you got your number one, I believe our list companies or our VC, they are very quite interested, yeah, to invest you or to join work with you. Yeah, that is my first suggestion. Can I have a second?
Sure. I want to echo that. Being the number one is the first strategy, your suggestion, right? So don't say that you can do everything. You can serve every market. It's not going to work. They have to position themselves for a specific market and to be the number one. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then second.
If you are number one, it's very easy to let people see and identify and remember you. You are the only
That's
one.
the branding also, right?
Yes, they also are branding and very easy to understand. That's first one. Second one is if you are number one, you can work with the number one. Just our listed company association. Last week, we worked with the Japanese listed companies in Taiwan. We work with the SoftBank. Last Monday, we have the dinner with the SoftBank Taiwan CEO, NTT Taiwan, Itocho Taiwan. Yeah, lots of the list company, Mitsubishi Taiwan. We have the kind of the meeting to see how we can work together between Taiwan and Japan. Of course, in the future, maybe we also work with the United States and to see everybody number one, we work with number one, can we have the 1+1 better than 3 or 5 or 10? So please work, be number one, then work with number one to get the very strong force, yeah, to get the global number one. Yeah, it's my second suggestion.
There's a third suggestion, right?
Yes.
Okay.
I have another
Before
one.
you talk about the third suggestion is that the suggestion is that work with the number one. Being
Yes.
the number one, work with the number one. That's the lesson I learned from Ellen. To be the number one, you always find the number one partner. Together, you're going to conquer the world, the dominate the market, right? That's the strategy. Sometimes we heard that okay, we can work with the number two and to compete with number one. That's a strategy. But Alan told me that his success factor suggestion is to be the number one and always find number one to work together and dominate the market.
Yes.
That's
yes.
the strategy.
Yes, yeah. It's long story. We do the B2B business for 28 years. In the beginning, every customer is our customer. So when I approach the number 7 customer, finally we close. Then we go to the number 6 customer. Then number 6 customer, who is your customer? I say number 7. Then they say, that's why they are number 7. So I'm so angry. Then I talk to my sales team, let's find the number 1 customer. So we fighting, so we got the TSMC. So that's why this year, I went with Steve. Actually, I also visited TSMC. So if we have the TSMC in United States, it's much easier if we work with them.
Yes.
It's much easier to understand who is it. Actually, so many people, they don't know who is Taiwan in a long time ago. But now, even we in the Arizona, in the Phoenix, we see the American people, they are very friendly to us. They say, wow, you are from TSMC, you are TSMC related. Thank you for coming. Yeah, it's lots of help. Yeah, then everybody know who are us. And second one is that, as you know, maybe TSMC vendor, one of their vendor, they are our very good friends. Yeah, they already also have the work together. Now they have the 18 company work as the one company. Yeah, so they also work together to be the TSMC supplier chain and help each other. They share the office, share the employee, share the cards, share everything. Even they share the customer together. Yeah, to work together. Yeah, so this is the very good strategy for everybody. Yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, Alan. And my next question will pose to Professor Dr. Yan Mingren, Aaron Yan. And he is also the Executive Director of Taiwan ESG Innovation Alliance and also the professor at the National Chengchi University. He's the leading expert in innovation management, system dynamics, and global sustainability. For the past 2 years, I worked with Aaron and to provide the course of the system dynamics. Very useful. It's a very eye-opening course. I learned a lot from Aaron. So today, it's my honor to have Aaron to join the panelists. And system dynamics, really, I witnessed that the whole world is in a very dynamic status. Everything is changing. So I think your theory and those tools, and also the AI tools, is a very is very good tool for us to predict or evaluate the future change or our strategies. And my question to pose to Aaron is the sustainability issue. Very soon that for the corporation, not only startups, but large corporations, we have to be sustainable. But now the world is so quickly changing. How to deal with this situation?
Okay, thanks, Steve. First of all, I would like to echo the opinion from Alan from the previous about the concept of open innovation, and Alan said an idea about number one, the positioning, the number one. Yeah, yes, I was the number one system dynamics professor in Taiwan. This is my position. Let me just share a short story.
He's number one, yeah.
And I published the first journal paper with the system dynamics computer modeling to deal with new product development and project management. So that is my position as a professor. It's about 20 years ago. And then UC Berkeley sent me an invitation because, hey, Aaron, I heard that you are the so-called number one in Taiwan. So would you want to do something to be a world-class number one researcher at UC Berkeley? Something like that. Because Berkeley is promoting the concept of open innovation. The open innovation is the idea about that you can do many great things and you don't have to do it all by yourself. You could work with some good partners. Yeah, we could work with other number ones. So the number one's question is not on competition. I'm the number one, and I'm not competing with another number one. No, we are working together as a complementary professionals. This is the key. So 2 weeks ago, I came from Harvard because there's another so-called number one from Harvard. They say they are number one in business and model design and management, Harvard. And MIT is number one in technological innovation.
Everybody's
right?
number one.
So,
that's an all-star team, right?
Yeah, but why we want to work together? Because for sustainable development. Because we want to make things better. We want to develop some more things better, which is with the promising future. So this is the first principle about sustainable development. So about sustainability is about how you comprise the economic growth with the consideration of environmental protection, like carbon emission, like environmental value, and the social value. So this is the basic principle. So with this idea of systems thinking and sustainability, I think there are some implications for the startup teams, like your new business model will be a sustainable business model. The sustainable business model that means that you could be financially sustainable. That means that your company is making money. This is economically, financially sustainable. And another sustainable is that you got to satisfy your stakeholders, like the community, like the partner, like the environment promoters, because you have to deal with as many, your founders, you have a different interest for sustainable investment. Maybe you are working with the government, and the government has the pressure to control the carbon emission, something like that. Okay, so with this kind of a comprehensive system thinking, you could rethink about your product development. Okay, while you are developing your new product, while you are promoting your new technological solution, think about that. The idea of sustainability. Think about the preference of your stakeholders. Okay, this is the first principle for your product development. And then think about your business model. How do you make money at the meantime and make your partner happy? Don't just make money by yourself, because you are working with your stakeholder with different value system. Okay, so think about that. Rethink about your business model. And the process is also important, whatever the supply chain, the manufacturing, and for your consumer, the logistic. When there is a process, when there is a business process, then there is a carbon emission and carbon footprint. Think about it. Be aware of handling the carbon footprint if you are the manufacturer, if you are the technological solutions. The carbon management is already the minimum requirement. Okay, it is about the qualification. And if you are good at the service, then if you can handle the logistic and the carbon footprint, you could save money, and you could increase your productivity, and you could, overpass your competitor because your competitor cannot handle the carbon, and you can. Okay, my student got to be a good supplier for the Apple company and the Dell because they handle the carbon footprint better. Okay, this is the idea of a process handle. And the third one is, I got 4 points. This is the
okay.
third.
Okay. Go ahead.
I got inspiration from Alan. So the third thing is, it's very important for your client. Your client, your founder is important, the same. If your founder is the government, your founder is someone for sustainable investment. So of course, you have to satisfy your founder and your client's needs, okay, to make it a sustainable business model. And the last thing is ecosystem thinking and growth mindset. The world market is increasing because the population is increasing. Okay, so maintain your growth mindset and think about the idea of open innovation and system thinking as a whole ecosystem. Okay, we are the winning team in the World Cup and as an ecosystem. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. And now all of you don't have to wait for the announcement of who is the #1 of Taiwan Startup World Cup competition. Now your job's now to find your #1 inside within you. Then you have already been a winner today. So thank you for all our panelists to share your insight and also your encouragement. I would like to ask all of the panelists, because of the time constraint, very limited time. So I would like to ask all of you, each of the panelists, to share one sentence of your advice to Taiwan startup ecosystem. I would like to start with Aaron first. Okay, Then Michael, you're gonna conclude. Okay.
Okay,
go
so
ahead.
my one sentence: just start up for sustainable development. Thank you.
Thank you. Give it a big round of applause. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, actually it's the number 3 suggestions. I didn't finish it, sorry. Okay, yeah, how can we do the #1 and what is the #1? Please join this platform. Yeah, we have Pegasus here. We have the Berkeley Skydeck. Yeah, we have every #1. Yeah, every mentor here. So please join us. My Chinese name is Yao Ren. Yeah, Yao Ren is mean Yao Ren Yo Ren. Yeah, if you need a tender, we have lots of tender here. Yeah, and we especially thanks for the Tina. Yeah, organize all of that. So in the afternoon, you can see the other competition. You can maybe see the other team. Those of the teams might be your partner. Yeah, long time ago, I handled only Canon. But now, not only the Canon, but the HP, Everson, Toshiba, all of my partners, we work together, yeah, to become the Taiwan #1. So please be unique #1. Join us to become the global #1. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Alan. And he hasn't finished his sentence. 要人有人，要钱有钱. If you want money, you can get the money from the VCs. Okay. Then next one, Dr. Fan.
Yes. So there's no formula for success. So the only thing you can do is to increase the odds rate. So just like I said before, you need to learn a lot of things, do your time management well. Thank you.
Thank you. Michael?
I think #1 is important, but I think the only one will be great.
Yes.
So I think I would suggest dream big, act fast, go global, be the only one in the world. Thank you.
Thank you. I'm going to talk to my wife. You are the #1. No, you are the only one. Then Michael, please conclude today's panel.
Yeah, I'll keep it brief. Again, find what makes you unique and then find the right partners to supplement. Yes, you want to be the only one, but you need some partners to help supplement that, and you can go much farther with the right partner there. So try and find that partner for yourself.
Okay, thank you, Michael. Thanks for all the panelists. I'm going to conclude today's panel discussion, the first panel discussion. Now, let's ask all the panelists together. We have a group photo.
Very nice. That was so engaging and exciting. And I believe that this is a great opportunity to have opinions from the number one expertise from their own industry. And that is so precious. Okay, let's look at camera. All right, oh, thumbs up. Yes, and also a very Taiwanese gesture, showing that you are number one. Oh, number one. Thumbs up, okay. Oh, number one, okay. Only one. All right. All right, big round of applause to gentlemen. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you. And also thank you, Steve, for hosting this wonderful panel. Thank you so much. We learned a lot. And one thing that I think all of the startup teams today can take, the one precious opinion, is that to try to make the audience and the judges and the investment to fall in love with you, right? The inspiration from Michael, right? That's a very important tip. All right, good luck, everyone. Now, ladies and gentlemen, we would like to move on to our second panel, and it's also going to be very, very exciting. So for the second panel, we are going to discuss what investors are looking for. Yeah, so it's also something that we need to think about. 所以我们第二个论坛我们要谈论的主题呢是创业与资本的双赢公式。好，那这个主题呢，我们将会邀请也是非常多的语坛人来跟我们聊聊，我们到底在创业与资本当中呢，如何达到的一个平衡，然后我们如何找到市场真正的所需。好 ，Alright, so now allow me to introduce our very important moderator, ladies and gentlemen. Please welcome the founder of IC Taiwan Global Angels， 掌声欢迎张义健，台湾天使俱乐部创办人，来为我们主持这一场 panel。And to funnel, let's welcome all panelists. So first up, please welcome 赖玉佳 the Plug and Play Ventures. 掌声欢迎 the founders. Okay. Next, please welcome the chairman of Taxsphere Investment. 掌声欢迎杨涵纯董事长，欢迎。Next, please welcome Mr. Alan Liang, Hasbirian Ventures and Berkeley Skydeck founder and managing partner. 掌声欢迎。Thank you for joining us. Yes, please be seated. Thank you. To follow, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. 严孝仪，方块砖智慧显示股份有限公司执行长 ，Paperbricks Display CEO. Welcome. To follow, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. 张少尧，聚仪智慧股份有限公司总经理 Mr. Jerry Chang, Facehard Corporation President. Welcome. Thank you, sir. Finally, please welcome Mr. 吴哲宇，生成式演算艺术家，墨语互动设计创办人 ，the designer founder. Welcome of 墨语设计。Right. Thank you, gentlemen, for joining this panel. So without further ado, I'll hand my control to the moderator, please.
Okay, thank you for having us here on the stage. I'm IC, the co-founder and a managing partner of Taiwan Global Angels, an angel group based in the US, but focus on the US market. But our founders, investor, and serial entrepreneur from Taiwan to invest in the US. Myself being a VC and startup founder in Taiwan for more than 15 years before I moved to the US 6 years ago. I co-founded the first accelerator in Taiwan in 2010, and Everest, focused on mobile internet and consumer internet. But my background was more hardware and medtech. So during the last 3 years, Taiwan Global Angel has invested in 10 startups in the US and 2 venture funds within $20 million US. So being an investor in the US and both in Taiwan, I'm very excited to see what's going on in the last decade. And also being the US for 6 years, we can see a lot of differences comparing to what's going on before year 2022. Yeah, the China-U.S. decoupling and also the economic, also the supply chain reshuffling, highly impact the U.S. and the China economy right now. So during this time, I think we can have a very diverse panelists here, and also since you all have like the handbook and with their background, so to saving the time, I will only give a very short introduction of each panelist here and start to my conversations. So maybe from Alan, yeah, we both work as advisor at Skydeck, the #1 campus accelerator around the world, and being an entrepreneur and also angel group, angel fund leaders. So maybe you could describe what kind of your experiences about, like in Berkeley Skydeck, we have so many international staff and come from the US. So being an early stage investor, what usually be your point of view about how their weakness and strengths to survive in the US, and how to like to promote or how to connect them with like the local society in the US, and what's the investor looking for is our main topic. Yeah, what's the investor looking for from international startups?
Yeah, great. Yeah, so as I mentioned, so we have about 200 startups that go through the incubator accelerator across 3 different programs. We have one program that is kind of similar to Y Combinator, where we actually infuse about 200,000 of actual investment. And one of the misconceptions are it's not all UC Berkeley or UC affiliate founders, but actually 80% of our accelerator program is actually global international founders. And we get about 3,000 or 2 cohorts each. So now we're talking about the top 1%. And I think from my perspective and looking at this point, thousands of applicants, one thing that stand out in terms of the best that actually make it is I think the common theme of building in Taiwan, but then also having the vision of going global and being able to not only focus, I think, on the competitive advantage that you have in Taiwan, but able to create a scalable go-to-market, right, that the global VCs will actually want to invest in. I think one of the areas that I think international founders do struggle with is that they may have great product, but they tend to be either like very deep product people or engineer and want to talk about really the product and features in a lot of details. And unfortunately, the message actually gets lost because at the end of the day, you're trying to build a scalable business. So articulating really what the problem set is, your solution, your vision, how do you actually bring it global. And this is what investors are looking for, especially global VCs that want to basically place an early stage seed investment, really focusing on that team, and then from there, all the different components, right, of your pitch deck and plan to be #1.
Yeah, sensible. Yeah, a great opinion. But by the way, I also want to separate about 2 parts because we have investor and also the founders. But I would like to maybe collect more from investor side. So Ryan, we've been a very long time old friend, and being an entrepreneur and also yourself work for like SoftBank for years and in the Bay Area, and for the last many years you work with the Taiwanese like university and also the Department of Science and Affairs to promote like from tech to commercialize like the FET program, and you also join become like some advisor to the staff. So what's your point of view? And you also being an investor as well. So how to balance like from especially working with the staff founder from engineering and science, what's usually the investor looking for? Because there are more tech founders background, so how can you help with this kind of engineering or scientist?
All right, thanks, IC. My own experience is I'm entrepreneur as well, so I started my business in Silicon Valley, so I'm with the internet background. When I work with a lot of engineers and researchers in Taiwan, I think the difference is the researchers actually like to go deep, but they are expert in their domain. But when we look at commercializing a company, we look at the market size. So you need to show the trajectory of a success for your business. So a good product might not be a good business, but a lot of marketing and sales planning is important.
Yeah.
So I think you probably have to think about how to go global since day one. So you know how big the company is, and then what dream you can give to the investors, especially when you're in the research stage. Actually, you're still thinking about what it can be done in the future. So normally for angel investors, they might be willing to invest in very early stage without proven proof of sales or proof of concept. They want to do that. And actually, especially in Taiwan, actually, we've seen so many angels, actually, they might be giving a bigger tickets than VCs, actually, sometimes. So they are willing to do something big with you, but you need to convince them. So it's not just about making money. It's about how to make an impact to the world. Sometimes you have to convince the investors and make it happen. I think this is something important. I sometimes am very touched by these researchers. They have a very big dream they want to achieve, but you need some assistance from people from the industry with experiences, let's say marketing, operations, sales, and everything. So I think you need assistance from others, and then we can work with you to make your big dream become a reality. That's my suggestion to them.
Yeah,
Right.
very valuable. But yeah, let's go forward to like my next panelist, Jeremy. We have a very long-term friendship in Berkeley. Actually, we play basketball together and then become old friends. Yeah. And talking about globalization, I think Jeremy himself is also like a very strong background. He studied in Texas, then moved to New York City and the Bay Area, and he actually studied MBA in France. Yeah, then come back to Taiwan to always plug and play, but himself joined several times in startups. So become like new attendees for Taiwanese ecosystem of startup. What's your like point of view of being like, you've been spending so many times in the US and different ecosystem. What would be your suggestion for the founders here in Taiwan to promote their business or to go to market in the US?
Yeah, okay. So running the risk of sounding like a nagging father, and just repeating a lot of what the other guests are talking about, you need to know how to tell a good business story and underscoring business, the word business, right? We are known for having, very smart in technology, investment, R&D, but you need to tell the business story to enable to persuade. So how do you do that? Typically, there are 3 typical steps. First of all, you need to know how to position yourself. Because the reality is you are from Taiwan, going into the US market, nobody knows you, you're 1,000 miles away. So you don't want to be a startup in the US, you want to be the Taiwanese startup in the US. So what can you do and how do you align yourself to the global trend that is relevant to the corporate clients that you're looking for? So find that relevance and position yourself. Maybe it is your technology, right? Maybe it is you have special partnerships that you've already built in the Taiwan ecosystem that can also benefit the US parties, right? So then, after you position, you want to be able to validate. You have to show validation. Like, okay, for example, I have done POCs, not necessarily in the US, but at least I've validated my product. A lot of corporates has already benefited from it. Now, do you want to onboard, right? You need to persuade the VCs or your customers in the US to see that you are not just a immature product that's going to die next year, but you are a potential that's going to help the company maybe find a different market opportunity, maybe lower their costs, maybe increase their revenue. So you need to show that validation. And lastly, for a lot of Taiwanese founders, you need to build a great narrative of scale. And for scale, we're talking about market size. But like in the pitch yesterday, I see a lot of like the notorious TAM, SAM, SOM diagram with the larger circle coming down and show how big a market size is. The reality is VCs, and it's just my personal opinion, hates that diagram. Because like $30 billion in your TAM means nothing for your startups. Yeah. I would encourage the startup teams here to build a bottom-up trajectory. How in reality are you from Taiwan how big of a market are you realistically going to capture in the next year, in the next 3 years, in the next 5 years? Show that bottom-up calculation and by doing that, it'll actually be more persuasive and then show the investor or your corporate customer that you've done the homework, you know the local trends, and you know actually how to execute and capture that size of the market that you're in.
Yeah, bottom-up is very important, and I always ask about who are going to be your first customer, your first 100 customer, to think about not about the percentage of the 10, but who are going to buy your product continuously. So before we dive into more about investors' perspective, and maybe we can start from the other side, from the founders. Yeah. So maybe I will start from paper. Yeah. You are not only go get like the money from Taiwan and being a serial entrepreneur for so many times, actually 7 times. Yeah. So what's your opinions or your experiences about like you got the money from 500 startups, international accelerator fund. So how do you promote your business and how do you persuade that it can go to the global market and you start from Taiwan? And you also being like work with several Japanese and US partners right now. What's your selections and how do you strategy to play between the domestic investor and international strategic partners?
I think for the base knowledge, we are the deep tech company, so we are building the building tool for building for that the engineer to building application. So I think this topic is any kind of investor can not easy to understand what I'm doing. Yeah. So when I'm doing my business, I choosing to at the very first to co-working with that other company or to make the connection with them. Because when I co-working with the company, and then I can talking to the investor of what I'm doing for the record. Because when I'm just talking to a technical, I doing the MCP and doing the integration, and I can help the retail to do blah, blah, blah. But the investor cannot believe you. They need to see the number to know, oh, you are really doing the good business. And that is the first one. And second one, how to go global. It's easy. Just go to the global.
It's not that easy because being an entrepreneur in Taiwan and for doing so many domestic business for years. So how do you see like the difference between the just like our topic? What's the investor looking for? So what's the difference between the international investor and the local investors? What's your experiences?
Okay, I can tell you my experience. Like there's 2 months, I joined some program. I don't know I can tell the name or not.
It's all right.
Oh, okay, the IP2 program, and I go to the New York and to maybe find some investor or some business partner. It's a government program, and when I just landing to the San Francisco, and then I go to the New York. When I just landing to the San Francisco, because I'm doing the AI digital signage, but when I landing to the San Francisco street, I didn't see any people. No, 0. So my business is broken. You know, I can doing the digital signage business in San Francisco, because there's no people walking on the street. So I think the most important thing that you go to the city and live here and live there, and then start to looking for. And here's some single trick. Alan, sorry, it's more personal. You know, Alan wear a sock. It's writing a kata.
yeah, the kata socks. Yeah,
so I want to ask him about founders here. Anyone know about kata?
Yeah, anyone who knows kata, the name, please raise your hand.
Right.
Okay, very few.
The kata is the top tier or the number 1 payroll system. Yeah. So Alice, that's a topic I can talking to you, right? Yeah. So I just know this word maybe 2 months ago because I stay in New York. So I can learn these words and I can start to the conversation to a VC. Yeah. So I think this is a good angle to go into a global and just directly go and start to co-working with the other company.
Totally agree. Just like my personal experiences as a VC and startup founder for 15 years in Taiwan. But when I live in the Bay Area, nobody care about you. AdWords or anything, the brand name in Taiwan, maybe only TSMC now is like more well known in the US, but else nobody cares about Taiwan because we're a very small island, and most of your successment or your achievement here is comes like nothing in the US because they just don't know how to compare you to Berkeley, to UCLA. They don't know NTU. Yeah, it's the NTU in Singapore or in Taiwan. Yeah, so we have like our own joke, like MIT is made in Taiwan, but MIT in the US is certainly Massachusetts, right? So how to become more local? So maybe next I will go to Jerry, who's the founder and the CEO of Fast Heart. I believe you spent so many years in the US, and I can also tell like your background. You be like an entrepreneur in the US for many years. And so what's the key difference between raising capital in Taiwan and abroad? What's your experience?
Well, by the way, I'm not a founder, so I joined FaceUp by accident. Okay, so doing that, I'm pretty old. I shouldn't be here, but I am here. So spend a couple minutes about my background. Maybe I do this sharing of all my experiences throughout the colleges in Taiwan for the past probably 4 or 5 years. Okay, I come to abroad to US in 1981 when I graduated from college. So my first job was Intel, right? Of course, everybody is going that. In my career, I found 4 companies, 2 went unders, 1 went Nasdaq listed, 1 I sold the company. In 1999, July 2nd, July 1st actually. So I was at age of 41, and my company went Nasdaq listed. I was probably one of the few guys who cannot speak a single English when I touched down to the JFK airports in New York. Then I actually did the Wall Street Roadshow. Then I retired at the age of 42. I spent 10 years as a venture capitalist in Silicon Valley. Absolutely hate it. I'm telling you, I absolutely hate it. Not trying to intrude everybody here.
Totally agree.
It's
not happy sometimes.
It's really the personal choices. Then I went to China for 6 years. I had a new product in China. In about 6 months, when I finished the product, I knew if I don't surrender my product to the Chinese governments, then I will one day never be able to get out of mainland China, just because of that I won't disclose this, what the product I invited. But those are the situations any startup needs to face. I come back to the Taiwan in 2016 to look after my mom. And my mom passed away 3 years ago at the age of 96 in sleep. So by accident, in 2019, Face Heart was originally a government-granted project out of National Chiao-Tung University. And then one of the criteria from the government, you have to form a company outside with the industry. The first one invested was the media tech, and everything went very well. I was a consultant. One of the founders was my college classmate, still a professor at the National Chiao-Tung University. And I was doing some consulting, marketing-wise for him. Then the pandemic hit. So everything threw to the back, the money went off. And then in November 2020, I was called by my friend after 2 or 3 months, asked me to take the CEO, take the president. I don't want to be the CEO, so I said I just want to be the president for the company. I think anybody who has run a company, the first thing you will do, you look at a book. So I look at a book for a week, then I can't talk to my friends. I say, damn you, you're going to run out of money in 6 months. So he said, yeah, that's what you are here for. Right? So the first year I was at Face Heart, I will actually arrange a bridge loan for him to make sure that it can be a transition into the next stage. He want to share some of the entrepreneur here, share you with the 5 Ps. Those are Ps as entrepreneur or as venture capitalists. We used to look at the cases. We use this one to build a company, build a product. The first, give you the first thing in Silicon Valley, typically Number one is the people, Stanford, whatever, Berkeley. Then they think they have the great position in the market. They build products, the number one in the world. They have the greatest ever potentials. They all close the company and went to the last P, which is the province. But these 5 Ps are the correct Ps. Please do it in the reverse orders. So look at the problem. What other problems need to be resolved? Global-wise or local-wise, doesn't matter. The larger the problem, the larger the potentials. So as the venture capitalists, we never look at the product. We have the first 2 P, we do circling around. Finally, we say, can we build a product to solve the problem, so to take the largest the potential? Then we do first 3 looking around. We don't even look at the company. So look at the FaceTalk when I took at, using FaceTalk as an example, when I took the company, they were focused on so-called the typical embedded medical devices, which because of MediaTek invested. But I think the value for this whole company is the AI, it's the software. So I readjust the company's visions, and when I look at the problem. The problems, if you realize is how old I am, there's many people like me is going to go 65. The U.S. government publish announcements, and from 2025 to 2028, every year there will be 4.8 million people become Medicare eligible, which will be 65 years old. It's a matter of time of the Medicare system to go bankrupt. I think it happens all around. So it's really, the topic is so-called the preventive healthcare. It's called the proactive healthcare. People want, when you get older, they want you to be as healthy as possible. By the time when you turn age of 90, just like my mom, who will be passed away, who has been passed away in sleep. So you change that, you continue to do, find the product, build that. Then before the internet, we will jump to the people. We chose because of the internet, we have one thing called position. Position is really because, if you ask me 25 years ago, what's your leading your close competitor, I would say 2 years. Now I dare to say 6 months. Information flood, AI tools all over the places. So the question is, the position really talk about the ecosystems. Doesn't matter if everybody here wants to do global. Looking at the global market, you actually want to look at a global ecosystem. We're looking at the healthcare systems, which is even more complicated. The US is different from Canada, it's different from UK, it's from every country in the EU. Then you come to Taiwan, then you have Southeast Asia. Every system is different, the payer system is different, provider system is different. That's what I said to my friends, you are very famous in Taiwan, and nobody knows you, as everybody said, in the States. So what's our position? For the past 3 years, we're really trying to build a channel where you do the B2B, we fund the potential partners. But one of the questions people ask me, why you keep on raising the money without doing a very little revenues? Because we are not ready. So when you do the position, you also figure out what is the tipping point of your product. For our stuff, we basically, if you don't know, we use a camera, look at your faces. Then we got your vital sign. That's what we call a horizontal. We go deep. They also vertical one. Who's going to believe you? You say, well, I'm very good in Taiwan. So I come from, I got all the research and the clinical trial in National Taiwan University Hospital, the Taipei Veteran Hospital. Who gave a shit about that? Sorry about my language, but that is the case. So one reason you want to do it is you want to get a certification from an FDA. FDA is the highest around all the medical devices, certified with energy. Sorry, I use two more minutes to finish my talk. So the position is very important, but also the money is super important. So my job is to make sure the company can spend all the R&D, also the marketing positions. We are about to launch our marketing Q4 this year, because the most critical ones to get the blood pressures passing the FDA, which will be the de novo. For those of you who are not in the medical de novo, it's meaning you are the very first one in the globe to do it. We are using the blood pressure, using the RGB camera to measure the blood pressures, which I spoke to 100 physicians. 100 will say that is not impossible. It is impossible. Heart rate is easy. Blood pressure is impossible because you don't have enough service for you to do it. So this is, we talk about pneumatics clinical trial. We talk about the the capability of AI to learn. We talk about the precision of the clinical trial. We do many iterations. Then we talk to FDA. Also, the other challenges is we are under the category called SMD, software as a medical devices. FDA has no idea when they first popping that one out. What do you mean software? It's a vaporware. So even through the process of dealing with the FDA, we have to actually not trying to show we are teaching you, but really try to communication. So these are the process when you talk to that to build. We think we should get FDA and blood pressure clear by Q2 or Q3 next year. So this is Q4, we will do webinars, we will do the push. This is called the position. But when you do the positions, all the preparation work we have done for the previous 3 years is setting up a channel worldwide, the EU, the CE market in the European, the HS is in the Singapore, certainly FDA in the US is to position the company. But when you fight, you need a weapon, you need a dynamite. So I just closed the $10 million for the company in preparation for the larger pushes. And for those of you trying to raise the money, when you don't need the money, raise the money. When you do need the money, you are dead meat. Sorry, I talked too much.
No, I think Jerry just demonstrated about two things. First, what he talk is what investor like, because he show his background. Yeah, as an entrepreneur, as a result, he's already done, and also from an advisor to jump into like the founding team or like being a president. And he also showed the passion, right? And the other way, I think he also demonstrated what a founder looking for, not only for investors. If you do have a classmate like him, right? After 30 years, 50 years, wow, my friends become like a VC and also entrepreneur. Invite him, become your advisor or investor. Someday he will jump on the stage to speak with you, for you, right? So I think Jerry just demonstrated what I'm looking for from the investor. But, and thank you for your demonstration also about your advice about, yes, totally agree. Yeah, raise money where you don't need it. Yeah, the best strategy is to always be prepared. So let's go to the last but not least, our panelist. Jian Yu, right? Zhe Yu, okay, Zhe Yu, okay. So I'm not familiar with you, but now your topic is very hot about generative AI and design. And we also see a lot of big company like Google, like every infrastructure AI company, software company, or even Adobe, they're going to maybe become your competitors, or like many of your investors, I believe, will ask about what's your strategy. Just like Jerry said, positioning and also execution is very important for investor, but how can you persuade, or how do you position yourself when investor ask about what's your potential and what's your position with this company, big company, become competitors or partners or being you acquire in the future? What's your experiences? And by the way, you are from New York City. So what's the investor differences between these different cities in the US?
I might bias the question a little bit.
Sure,
and
of
it's
course.
always very strange for an artist to speaking a panelist with numbers.
That's all right.
Yes, but what I want to bring to here is actually I want to help like everyone. So
Yeah.
I'm a new media artist. I'm doing living artworks with engineering. And my company, Monolab, is selling experience. So you can think of like why people want to buy experience.
Yeah.
So most of the company are solving all the problems that improve people's life to make people feel better. So we directly work on the feels better part. We create exhibitions, work with brands. We make people imagine how good or how dreamy, how happy their like life can be. So what I want to speak is like people can think about why funds or capital go into movie industry or like entertainment industry, and with like those artists with large of pay a lot to the artist or companies doing this, because I think that like it is the last goal, like the main goal of our business is to improve people's life with our product. Like it might be the artwork, it might be the experience or the things we are selling. So what I want to speak here, sorry I paused a little bit too much. Like so, although like generative AI or are like those tools coming up and up, the final goal will not change. Is that we want to build something to let you think out of your life. So what's the last time you think yourself is alive and you feel the true happiness, or you think you like have a great meal or a great experience with your loved ones? So like though technology are improving, but we are always focused on it. I think all people at business should be just to be focused on to make the time and moment and the product that really improves the world. So we can use any kind of the technology. Like I'm like a web developer. Like 10 years ago, I developed experience using Touch Designer like recently, but I using AI to make my art experience, our art exhibitions. But tools doesn't matter at all. We sell to people, so we understand people. We solve the question and make people feel that they want to feel, and we capture the capital during this process.
Okay. Yeah. So I believe like what you are saying is about like the real thing is about to helping people to live maybe live happier or more efficient. So not only about product but also about experiences to bring to, or even like to your investor feel what you are going to do. So let's go back to the investor side again. So the topic we're going to discuss about what investor looking for. So being like many years in the Silicon Valley, or Alan, your own experiences being like advisor in Skydeck. So what's the differences comparing to angel investor and accelerator or like a VC in the Bay Area? What's so by being a founder, we must to know more about your investor or potential investor. So maybe you can give some your tips about how to helping founders to knowing their investor better, and what's the difference comparing to this kind of early stages investor. And we have like angel list and also syndicators fund. So what's the difference by asking for putting money into the startups?
Is everyone familiar with the term ideal customer profile? Is everyone familiar with that? So what I call it, and I term it as the investor sort of profile, right? So again, if you look at, let's say, fundraising as a sales process, you actually have to know your audience, and that audience breaks down in different investor types. So as IC mentioned, there are different types of investors. There's angels, there's family offices, there's venture capital, and venture capital breaks down into micro VCs plus large VCs. And it's super important that you actually understand what's in it for them and who their LPs are, or what is their interest, right? So for example, if you take the category of an angel investor, me personally, 17 investments, 3 exits, LP in 3 funds. But as an individual, there is no timeline in terms of deploying capital in 3 years and exiting in 7-10. I think angels and family offices have the luxury to invest in great founders, invest in great opportunities, and not have a timeline. On the VC side, there are different types of funds, and some funds are lead investors, some are co-lead as an investment. So understanding how they make the investment, what size check, this gets back into knowing your audience, but from a Silicon Valley perspective, this is what breaks down into the different investor types, and it's super important. And then this can be a very long topic, but there's also different approaches on how you make your investments, and also who do you get investments from first, right? For example, pre-seed investments from angels, building up your product, building up your valuation, then you start scaling into institutional VC, right? Or maybe you get a local Taiwanese VC, and then at that point, set up your base, and then get international or go through an accelerator, which provides credibility so that you guys can go global.
Great. Yeah. So Ryan, you also helping like just we mentioned a lot of tech founders or like scientists become entrepreneur, and also I believe you're already a company for many startups being like more globalized. So what would be your suggestions, since we are now on the stage for like a competition, for startup go to the world competition. So what would be your suggestion for them to understand their next step, and once they got maybe they got a chance to win the ticket. What would be your suggestion for them to be aware, and what would be their like a shareholding structure or any kind of tips for get the international money?
Yes, I think for investors, especially seasoned investors, actually they can easily see a person probably during the conversation. Probably, I think most of us, when you talk to an entrepreneur for half an hour or longer, you know how passionate he is about his career, his new startup. And then I think another important thing for going global, actually, Jerry's company actually is one of my accelerator programs. So with the BFU as a professor, so actually we ask, that's what I just mentioned. So we have very strong technology founders, researchers, and they need somebody to help. So I think a good team is important, but we need a leader with a strong leadership. So sometimes we found a smooth team when they been working together for a long time, let's say 3 years, and they never have a argument during this year. So in many cases, when I talk to a person and to DD to the very late stage, I'll ask them, have you guys, have quarrels, during the process? And they say no at all. Normally, it's not a good sign for us. I would say you should have some arguments about different things. You have your own opinions, but somebody has to step up and make decisions. So I think a strong team is important. So I think it's very common. We say 3H, the hustler, hacker, and hipsters. I think this is good, but also we need a strong leader. So when there's a big arguments and there's no conclusion, somebody has to step up and take responsibility to bring the team forward. So I think this is important. And then different positions have different capabilities and can work together with a strong team. It's important too. So I think for investors, you want to see a strong team with a big goal, going global or aim high, but with the milestones that you can achieve. You know what you are going to do within the next few years, what's the milestone you're going to achieve step by step. It's not aiming too high, but something, unachievable. But the milestones you are achievable within, let's say, 1 year, 1.5 year, your milestones, and then we can see you'll make the progress step by step. I think that's important.
Yeah, it's tough. You have to like big dream, but have achievable. Sometimes very controversial, but. So let's go back to Jeremy. Yeah. So you speak for plug and play and also like an investor here. So what's your strengths and also uniqueness of plug and play? And our staff might get a winner ticket or not, but how to approach like this kind of I think plug and play is more like a platform, and to collaborate with many partners, corporates. So what's your angle being like an investment team for plug and play, and what's your strategy between like a regional department or the global investment teams?
Right. So I want to say that one thing we look for is distribution. So you have to have the distribution mindset in the sense that in today's world, building a product is getting easier and easier with AI. Execution is getting easier and easier. I can ask ChatGPT on how to execute a whatever SaaS app, and then it'll help me plan out the whole 12-month roadmap. But distribution is the one thing that is really, really tough for startups, especially if they want to go into international market. And this is the thing that hasn't really been hacked by AI or any like assistive technology. So coming back to plug and play, I think we are one of the platforms. There are many, many great platforms out there, but we are one of those that really help bridge that distribution gap, especially for startups who want to go global. So back to distribution, the key here is to find that one key partner or one key angel group or one key VC who's willing to help you bridge that connection for you. And the reason why we call ourselves a platform is because our operation is all around global. We have offices in US, we have offices in Japan, in APAC, now in Taiwan, and in Europe as well. We have many, many corporate members or partners who's willing to sit down, talk to startups, bridge the gap, and look into any POC opportunities that can happen cross borders. So I think that's looking into the key partnership that's willing to vouch for you and then looking for that one or two key POC partners. And once you nail that one perfectly, you're able to scale slowly into a new market that you originally are not familiar with. So that's kind of the key there.
Cool. Yeah, so I think blockchain is one of the potential great opportunity for you, not only for Pegasus, but I think it's a different platforms. Yeah. So maybe we can go back to the founder side. So Paper, I want to talk about more like, we already talked about how to get money, but there's another procedure called post-investment, right? For many startups, they don't know how to do post or investor relationship. So what's your experience about dealing with international investors, about what happen after you get the money and become one of their portfolio?
It's really tough.
I know.
Taiwan Global have the meeting with me every month. They want to know about the progress, but I can talk in the final answer that the investor help you. You know, because
give them homeworks.
yeah. So like when you're building a product, we are the tech product. So you know, investor will hearing about the buzzword, like AI or MCV or any kind of buzzword every day, or every day 100 times. But the startup, our work is make it happen. So we really hard to make it happen, but when I'm talking to this technology to the investor, they don't know. They start saying it's a buzzword. So how that the investor help you? You have to bring your customer in front of them and let them see, oh, you can do this business or you can do that business. So the investor will introduce about the connection to you. So now the investor get on board. So they work together, they work to you, so they understand you. Okay, so and back to the very first, how do you get your first client or your first connection? Just fake it. If you're doing the AI product, you can use in labor intelligence, 中文的工人智慧, to make a MOU or make a deal. Because you know your product, maybe someday you can provide this product. But you have to doing the showcase, success showcase, that the investor know, oh, you can do this. So the connection will bring to you and you can do the real deal with a real customer. Is the first, I think is the first important one. And second, when you're choosing about your client, choose a big one. Choose a famous one. Choose an investor, any investor know. Oh, I choose the Subway, I choose the Coco. So the investor know, oh, so you are doing the chain brand business, okay? So I can help. And that thing is about, I think that the most mistake that any tech founder will make, like any business have the structure. Like any business have the structure, they have the different layer of the like supply chain or a provider or a consumer. So you really hard to invest something, the nuclear weapon, and change the world and start selling the product without any help, without any other collaboration. So you have to follow about a structure, but that's the investor really good at, not you. You only know about the professional, but the investor know about the business. So you can talking to them and learn about how to do the business to save your company. I think it's the most important one. Yeah.
Good, thanks for your valuable experience. So let's go to Zheyu. So by doing your business in like Taiwan and different area, what's your experience of talking to different investors and what's their key points when they like answer your strategy and also to engage like what your business plan is?
Yeah, so most of the time in Taiwan, they focus more on like how much money we are earning right now.
Yeah.
In the US, they ask for what's the story behind your business, and then they see your patient and see how you be as a people. And in Europe, they just, I don't know what they care about. Yeah, but we just like
Impact.
Yeah, impact, maybe impact. And we just like talk and we just share thoughts and I don't know how and then we make connections. Yeah, so I think that is because of in different environments, they have different like market sizes and capital size. In the market, they have large like capital sizes. They can have more risk tolerance to make those tryouts and make just like they think you are hopeful. So, and they will invest in you. So when we are making art and exhibition or like this kind of service, or we expose ourselves as a symbol to those investors, we are actually we actually have less investors, but more like global big brands to work together because they think we are a good symbol. We can add value, or we can make them together as a new story, or make them people remember them. So most of the time we just like we focus on making like every time we make an extraordinary product or experience or like collaboration, and we keep making one-on-one on that, and then we use our like kind of passive distribution, our information, and we make great records for each like every time what we done and what we are thinking about, and I think that is the best marketing. So that is how I walked this journey for me as an artist, and also artist business and like exhibition service to grow up.
Yeah, I think to not only think your investor as money, but also like making friends with them. Yeah, become like a lifetime partners will be very good strategy. So maybe last but not least, I will go to Jerry, who will being such an experienced investor, a VC, and also founder, or like being like advisor. So what's your role when you, I believe, being like a board director for many times? Yeah. So what are investors looking for when like you're being like a before as it, or what's the role usually for investor once you got on board and become one of the key or anchor investor for a startup?
I think it's really a lot of startup company founders failed because the ego. So it's really not everybody can be a founder, then be a CEO. Chances are less than 1%. So we looking from the founder's perspective, you want a investor that can lead you through, not just introduce you to all the connections, is all the financial plan thereafter. So look at the KPI, you have a KPI, so as the venture capitalist has the KPI. If they invest you, then you lost all the money, so their KPI sucks. So they will have a problem to talk to their LPs. So from my own experiences back in the States, my investor introduced me a CFO. The CFO is a Harvard graduate with a Stanford JD degree. So it's one guy killed two birds. So you talk about the fully understood the whole process of a financial game. Ladies and gentlemen, if you really want to become very rich and become a successful entrepreneur, you really want to come on the big stages, get a team. It's not a game for me, myself, engineering training background. So I was surprised as they let me, kept my CEO job, and actually I did the roadshow 21 days on Wall Street as well, any place else. That's because I have the charisma. The charisma is what the VC looking at for funders. Is you are devoting to what you do, but you only do what you can do the best. Share the visions with the VC, and let the VC handle the rest of the stuff. I think that would be a great teamwork, and that is really for any entrepreneur who wants to be successful in these big stages. Get the big stage guy come to play, then you become a small role, but you will still be the richest man because you got a lot of shares.
Yeah, so I think we don't have time to Q&A, but I think all of our panelists give a very deliverable and a very reasonable feedback and what's the experience about being an investor. We are human, we are your friends, not only for money, but we can share our experiences, and maybe you can learn from the investor, and many of them, if they are entrepreneurs, will become more, I would say, helpful. So once put on your board director, not asking for them become like your boss, but they are also trying to help you. So how to manage, we call it upper management, will be also very important for once you got the money from VC, angels, or family offices. And thank you for all the panelists today. I also learned a lot from you. Thank you.
And also thank you to the moderator for hosting this insightful panel. So let's have a good photo together.